Are we live? Oh yeah, we are live. Great. Hi everyone, Dante here. Welcome back to the live stream sessions. We're going to get started in a moment. So you might have noticed now Dante Starshine, the channel has transformed into Heart Flow Healing Transmissions because it felt like we needed a bit of an update and upgrade. Starshine has been a beautiful ring, and I will still release the channeling under that name, but it felt a little bit whimsical. And what we're really pointing towards is this transformative flow state. Like when I'm channeling, mm, everything is flowing through me. It's that heightened state of connection, but we all can go through those experiences. And the flow state has been well documented as this increased state of creativity, better cognition. You're just in the moment, fully present. You can experience it in any way. And all of these messages point back to finding that flow state. That's what the formula is about, like living on your excitement, living from your joy. When you sustain that and you don't have insistence and you continually come back to what your heart's calling is, you find yourself in these flow states. And flow states are way different than what, some hippies are like, yeah, I'm just going with the flow. Like, hey, when do you want to meet later? And somebody says, yeah, I'm not sure what time. I'm just going with the flow. That's not the flow we're talking about at all. It's actually a very precise and intentional state that arises the more we give ourselves over to the heart. And in that state, the belief systems and everything that holds us back disappears. And this is what the Pleiadian Council is always pointing towards when people bring their questions. It's directing us back to this awareness. How can we find our own flow? How can we find the way of relating with others that flows? How can we express ourselves without hesitation, without our own beliefs holding us back from being true to ourselves? How can we fulfill our own creative longings and speak to our soul? These are a lot of the things that come up again and again. And Heart Flow Transmissions is also a new book that has just been released on the Amazon. And this is actually nothing that new. It's the transmissions that have been shared here on YouTube over the past 7 years. And while, of course, I love doing these sessions, as I go through my own studies, I'm somebody who prefers to read something than listen to it because I learn it a lot more. And maybe this is part of the bias that has made me want to convert as much as I can into text as well. And especially in looking forward, I'm seeing so many new things coming up in my own life that obviously bleeds through into channeling as well. And I've seen the channeling as well evolve into newer and newer levels. So before we reach the next level, I wanted everything that already has been to be accessible easily for all to digest in a much smoother way. And when you get this book, you also get to see the link right there in both the ebook and in the paperback. Of course, with the paperback, you might have to type in all those special characters for the YouTube URL, but it shouldn't be a problem. And you can listen along when you really want to tune into the energy of the guides as well. And by doing that, you can maybe take the transmission in on a deeper level. But then reading is also a way to kind of commit it to memory, to kind of keep this wisdom in your working memory throughout the day so you can actually implement the changes that the Pleiadian Council suggests, because sometimes there's so much information in these transmissions that we only take in a bit of it. And so as I went through the process of compiling all of this, I ended up with like 400 pages. This is around 20,000 words, if that means anything to you. And I also look back as there's many other channel books that I've released at this point. And I noted that maybe sometimes they're a little bit too dense, and there's many people who love that deep read. But there are also others who might want to take it in quicker and smoother, and it also significantly cuts down the printing cost. So before I released it, I took an additional day to also make a micro version, which is really distilled to the core transmissions that I think, are the most helpful in personal transformation. The expanded edition does include a lot about the more of like the galactic history stuff, like the stories of our humans' creation through the Anunnaki, our connection with hybrid races and many other beings. Things like fairies and Sasquatch become sort of the last 100 pages of the expanded edition. But another idea behind the micro version is that there might be people who those sort of metaphysical concepts they find isolating, but the core message of what the Pleiadian Council teaches could still be something easy to digest and implement in their lives in a deep way. And so I really wanted the micro version to be available as well. And it's a lot more affordable. And I think you might enjoy both of them. And so I actually didn't put the YouTube link in the chat as I usually do, or the Zoom link in the live chat like I usually do. And let me just do that now. Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. Cool. So now you can join in the Zoom room. And what else can you do? That other link I wanted. Let me get the other link too. Sorry, I should have been more prepared with that. So in the live chat, you can find the link to find the book as well. And I'll post that in the YouTube description as well once that is all up. And what am I doing? All right, there we go. So thanks again for joining. And the ground rule, as per usual, is make sure that you're not muted. Make sure you're muted when you're not speaking. And beyond that, enjoy. Bring all the questions you wish. And if you enjoy this and benefit from this energy, spread the word. Let other people know. We have a lot of great stuff on the way that I really hope reaches the world, as the intention here is to elevate the planet and allow for a lot of deep healing to take place for all beings. Let us dive in. Hello, and we say a fantastic day to all of you, this moment of your time. And we say, oh, a fantastic birthday to the channel, who was so excited he forgot to mention that as well. And we come to share a new message with you that we have titled Perpetual Perceptual Expansion. So we'll start with this idea that many of you speak of the expansion of consciousness, and you come to these sorts of transmissions and teachings to expand consciousness. And this is one way of saying it, though what we would say is actually that consciousness is fundamental to reality itself. And from around your world, all of the indigenous traditions and the shaman understood this, that there is much consciousness in the organic elements of nature, plants, trees, and rocks, as there is in anything. And the truth is that consciousness doesn't exist in your body. It is received by your body. So your body is a vessel to allow the consciousness of your soul, that it is one aspect of all that is, that exists and has always existed even before your body was born. Your body allows the consciousness that is beyond you to be received. And in that same way, your phone is receiving a signal of Wi-Fi or cellular data. There is a stream of energy and information that enters a device that before that doesn't have the same information within it. Just as much consciousness is the same thing. It is all around. It is everything that is. And so, are you really expanding your consciousness, or are you simply expanding your own awareness of the consciousness that has always existed and is always there? The consciousness is evolving, and in that sense, it is continuously self-expanding, though you don't necessarily have to do any part of the expansion of consciousness itself. All you have to do is expand your own awareness of it. And thus, we have titled this transmission the Perpetual Perceptual Expansion. What you expand in order to hold more consciousness within your body, as you could say, is expand your own awareness. Expand your perception, take in more energy, more information, see things from multiple perspectives, not just one. As you allow yourself to do this, you gain more access to that second part of the formula, doing things to the best of your ability. This part of the formula involves many things as we've discussed at different times. It isn't just doing your best on your own, it's doing your best as a part of an interdependent universe where you see other beings as part of your co-creative process and collaborate together to bring your vision to its fruition. Doing things to the best of your ability also makes sure that you take in the logical component of your mind to check and balance the natural inclination with your heart so that you see the details that allow you to bring your heart's calling into reality. And doing it to the best of your ability just as much involves the ability to see things from multiple perspectives, because this is how you get out of the trap of your own belief systems. Usually, once you've come to any conclusion about any phenomena, that conclusion has only arisen through the filter of your beliefs. And so make sure that you challenge all of your own conclusions. You can come to understand that you never fully understand. You are continuously learning more, and it is true that you have genuine knowledge, but your awareness of that which is still unknown is what keeps you in the flow, curious and perceptive of details that give you the full picture perspective in each and every moment. And so we've suggested at different times many ways that you can do perspective shifts. If you find yourself in a conflict with another person, for example, imagine yourself sitting in their body, looking through their eyes at you, and take long enough to imagine this, that you get to really empathically connect with what they are feeling and thinking, to put yourself for a moment in their perspective and see things in a different way. It doesn't mean you have to let go of your own perspective and your own sense of what is true and right. It simply means that by doing this, you are able to better understand and relate to other people, staying clear in that core energy of compassion that allows you to move through resistance and make sure that the obstacles that arise on your path don't stop you from following the calling of your heart. So you can come to understand that perpetual perceptual expansion is inherently a part of applying the formula. This means that as you move through your life, you not just act on what you love. To do it to the best of your ability, you incorporate deep levels of mindfulness in all that you do. That is feeling, as we've always said, the sensations moving through your body, becoming aware of all of the energy around you, from sensory information of sight, sounds, colors, and textures, to the way that that interacts with your being, giving rise to sensation, memory, images. Become acutely aware of all other beings you interact with, feeling with them completely and deeply, and allowing yourself to see from their perspective. When you find yourself engaged with limiting thoughts and beliefs, do the perspective shifts exercises. Write down the thoughts that limit you the most, and then do the complete reversal of them. If you believe I am not capable, write down I am capable, and then look for all of the evidence of that. Prove to yourself all of the ways you are capable by looking at all that you have already done. Allow yourself to continuously perceive and learn more. This also connects with being a lifelong learner, of continuously gravitating towards areas where there is still an unknown. It's cultivating a relentless attitude of deep curiosity, allowing yourself to become an investigator, discovering the complete perspective available to you in each and every moment. And so, should you ever find yourself stuck, remember that perpetual perceptual expansion is the key to getting out of those stuck places where negative beliefs hold you back and returning to flow. That state of flow, where your heart simply guides you and you feel that expanded sense of love and connection to all that is where the deep healing happens. And there's no use in spending too much time thinking about or ruminating about what holds you back. You simply have to develop a strategy to take action steps that bring you into that flow. Know that as soon as you enter that flow, you're a completely different person in a completely different reality. So ensure that you prioritize finding that state. And if that state feels very far away, then begin with expanding your perception. Do something perhaps radically different for that day. If you ever feel stuck, challenge yourself to think of something that you have never done before, or perhaps never said or communicated before. Find a never before in that moment as a permission slip to break you out of the habitual, because doing so is key in maintaining flow. You will find that when you have a joyous attraction towards the new and the unknown, without fear, cultivating an endless courage, that this new information that you constantly gravitate towards allows you to see things from different perspectives all the time. And your own sense of who you are is allowed to expand and go beyond a rigidly, tightly contained box. A bit of the tongue twister nature of even saying this. Perpetual, perceptual. We even challenge the channel for a second, yes? Perpetual perceptual expansion is part of the magic of it. It reminds you of key aspects of the formula itself. The perpetual aspect is the continuous nature. We're not saying to you one time a day as a spiritual routine and practice, do what you love. We've never said anything of that nature. This isn't like a yoga class. This is for all of your life, every single moment. Act on your highest excitement or passion or bliss to the best of your ability without insisting on an outcome. Always continuously. Because this is what accelerates your frequency. It activates your awareness of synchronicity and all of the underlying patterns of energy running through all that is. It attracts to you resonant vibrations that match the core frequency of your deep heart's yearning. And this is the most great frequency of the source reverberating from within you. And it has to, again, be continuous. The way that you keep it continuous is by deepening your perception, both of your own limiting belief systems, of beliefs that counter your core values so that you can be connected to an evolving, complete, and contrasting world, and awareness of all of the other perspectives within that whole so that you can best channel your own creativity to serve the whole. It's perception of continuous details. And you must remember that, yes, if you ever feel stuck, it's not that anything is holding back. It's that you're not seeing something. So if you really can't find a way to see it yourself, find someone you can ask who might be able to show you what that blind spot is. Coming back to why this is, again, a transmission that mostly focuses on that second part of the formula, doing it to the best of your ability. Again, part of that is collaborating. And one very useful collaboration is a trusted companion that you know is good at finding your particular blind spots. So, a great thanks to you, and we will now continue with any questions, comments, or inquiries you would like to share with us, beginning whenever you would like.
Thank you so much. Amazing opening. Let's see if anyone in the Zoom room wants to jump in.
All right.
Hello, Pleiadian Council.
Yes.
Basha said that humans are stewards of the land, and I often wonder how much can we or should we change the landscape? Because nowadays capabilities are huge. We can vastly change and damage the landscape, and but also we can protect it somehow. So how to find the balance?
Well, the key is in how are you disrupting the landscape? It has to do, especially with the different chemicals that you put into your soils for agriculture and for gardening purposes, among other things. This is perhaps the most detrimental thing that humans are doing, as well as degrading and deforesting the environment. As we and others point out clearly, the deforestation in your world is a core cause of many of the different changes in your ecosystems, and it is a potential threat in your coming years. So, yes, clearly, you need to become aware of this and raise the consciousness about it. And you do this by restoring your own deep sense of connection with the earth, working with the earth, walking upon it, laying upon it, surrounding yourself with natural beauty and taking in that energy. Knowing that your body is part of the earth, the way that you nourish your body with health and food is just as much important. And knowing that the food comes from the earth and was grown in a healing, regenerative way deepens your connection to the earth as well. Knowing the medicinal powers of plants is also a very potent way of connecting with the earth. Just as much, those who are excited about doing it ought to continue or begin raising their voice about the importance of the earth and the healing power present in it. Indeed, so many of your health concerns have to do with the way that you don't necessarily choose the most healthy options from the earth and cause these sorts of environmental degradation around the world. Now, that said, in terms of your personal home, if you want to change things or chop a tree on occasion for necessary purposes, this is a very low impact choice, and you also take it on a case-by-case basis, as with most things. That said, develop your own connection to the plants and speak to them, listen to them, and hear the response coming to you from subtle levels of communication. Perhaps you have a deep feeling or you hear a voice in your head as you connect with the spirit of the trees and the land around you. Allow yourself to be that connected, that you can feel deeply what the land wants. As again, as we've begun with, everything is built of consciousness, including the land. And if you expand your perception, you can consciously communicate with the land spirits to better understand what it is that they want and need.
Mm-hmm. My usual dilemma is that as an engineer, I like to build things, and I like when there is a nice bridge and nice road somewhere built. But when I'm enjoying nature, I don't like it to be with bridges and wide roads. So my usual dilemma is how to find a balance between these two things.
Well, if it is part of what your work is, you have to, in a way, compromise. You have to, again, take it on a case-by-case basis and ask yourself, what is the most important value to me? Does this project really serve my own highest passion, or would it better serve for me to stay connected with the earth?
Mm-hmm. Because sometimes protecting everything and making it still, it's slowing down the progress and technology, and but we also cannot live with a clean nature, a clean environment, and natural landscape, which is
Well,
also very healing for me.
generally you rush too quickly towards things. The need to do everything fast and achieve a certain level of success by a deadline is part of the nature of your world that does lead to imbalance. So sustainable practices are not necessarily always faster, but the results they bring are more lasting and sustainable. Well, yes, that's clear. They are sustainable and they are durable and lead to wholeness within the community.
Mm-hmm. So wider discussion and maybe taking in consideration many factors of the change would be beneficial, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you for now.
Oh, yes, thanks to you.
Greetings, dear Pleiadian Council.
Hello, yes.
And happy birthday to the channel. And a great outfit.
We give his thanks as well.
Sorry, you got interrupted. Could you please repeat?
No, we give his thanks to you, yes.
Thank you. I was wondering, intuiting that the Canary Islands, if you know where the Tenerife is, as I remember, as I also remember that Bashar said that the Atlantis was going in that direction, and I don't remember exactly if he said that the Canary Islands were part of Atlantis, but I'm intuiting that they might be. Can you please give me some hints about that, and what can we find there, if we can find? And there was also some old people called the Guanches. Were they part of the Atlantean people? There were some redhead people that were there before the Spanish invasion of those islands. Do you know anything?
Yes, this was a region that was at one point Atlantis, just as much as some of the other islands around were also part of Atlantis. There could be around this area in the sea deeper discoveries that are still yet hidden, perhaps some in underwater caves that have been closed over. Though the discovery of this is not necessarily destined for this particular timeline at a very soon time, there is potential. The inhabitants of the island did have a large percentage of Atlantean DNA before the Spanish colonization.
Thank you. And on the islands, any traces, anything interesting that we might discover?
A vibrant culture and a very special energy. There is a powerful energy vortex here for those who wish to experience it. You will know if you feel the call.
I feel it very much. Thank you. And another question, I was wondering, Bashar said that our DNA, it's right now opening to the Anunnaki genes, to the, let's say, Anunnaki longevity. And as I know, they were living kind of, some of them up to 900 years or something like that. And I was wondering if there is, what would be some procedures, some meditations, some things like that that we could also help optimize our DNA to make it not so frail, not so, because I know the biggest problem of our DNA is that it copies erroneously from copy to copy, and that's mostly why we age. And what would be some techniques, some meditation to help it?
Well, aging is a process that is built into the body. It's a certain function that begins and causes the body to produce more inflammation-free radicals and various components over time. And thus, there are genetic markers that signal the activation of this process. However, there are experimental studies being done to interfere with the activation of this process. And while work in this area is just beginning, it is certainly possible within the next 100 years to considerably expand lifespan by 10 to 30 years for humans already alive at this time.
Mm-hmm.
With time, it could increase more. And certainly, give it a couple hundred years, and humans will live far more than 100 years regularly.
I see. And anything that we can do internally without technology, with our own internal technology to help this?
That's already clearly established. It's diet, exercise, and a low-stress lifestyle. And this is, again, why we say act on your excitement, because that brings you to what is most rewarding, what is most fulfilling. And that expansion is the greatest relief for stress. The flow state is the most balancing and grounding state that you can be in. And of course, while this isn't built into the formula, we have to emphasize that exercise is very crucial for health, especially for those who struggle with mental health. This might be actually the very most important thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Thank you. And a very short one, do you have any idea why some animals on the planet are suffering so much? Why they have chosen this this lesson? What they're doing? Is there an oversoul that enjoys this situation of those animals? It has something to learn from all that suffering.
Suffering itself is a part of life on this planet and in this dimension in general. There's different sorts of forms of suffering. And yes, all have a soul level agreement to participate in the undoing of karma at this time on Earth. So the animals knew what they were getting involved in. And yes, we're not sure what more there is to say, but it's important that, yes, to feel connected with the collective, including animals, and know that these feelings may serve as motivation to be part of the change.
And can we do something about it? Can we envision a better world? Can we send them blessings or something? Do you suggest anything in that?
Well, we always
Besides action, besides taking action on
the best of your ability without insisting on a particular outcome. And so if you feel moved by the state of the world, then acting on your excitement is the way to do it. That might be motivating yourself to create art or spread a message to better the world. It might be small things that you do daily, like picking up trash to better the environment. It could be writing politicians. It could be going on protests. It could be teaching others about the connection with nature. Because again, as you help other people reestablish the healing connection with nature and understand the power and importance of nature, people in general will do a bigger part to play a role for the earth. There's many of the things that you can do. We would say that the tools like meditations and visualization that we suggest are enjoyable permission slips. The way that we deliver these permission slips is, again, to expand your own perception. Because when you expand your perception and you learn something different, you may make a change and transformation. And yes, so a permission slip like visualizing a healed planet can help you expand your perception of that possibility. But the real work will then happen when you take inspired action to bring that reality closer to fruition. And so that is what we would explain the mechanism behind such a meditation for a healed earth actually leads to. Yes, you must back tools of this nature with your action.
Of course, yeah. All right, but although knowing that I asked a few times Ryok, and I think you yourself, if we can bring change without action, and the answer was affirmative, that even mental states are an action. Someone that goes in a cave and meditates very focused on it can bring a change. It can shift themselves into a parallel dimension where those things are not happening. So
there's a misunderstanding here, because you are meant to act on your highest excitement, and that serves its own purpose. So the one who goes into the cave and meditates can become an enlightened yogi, and that serves their purpose if that's what they're most excited about being a being who is free from their attachment to physical reality completely. However, going into a cave and meditating for a personal goal is not actually coherent as part of what we are teaching you. You meditate because you want to experience the effect of the meditation. The meditation in and of itself does not have a magical effect to manifest something into your reality. However, manifestations work towards manifestation when they expand your perception to bring in new insight, new inspiration, and help you develop a stronger belief and conviction in yourself and in your goals. And from that place, the meditation sets you up to take inspired action to manifest that goal. Never in your life will you be able to sit down and do a meditation for money and instantly get the money afterwards. You can do a meditation for money or for anything and tap into that excited, inspired frequency and continue to take inspired, excited action without insisting on an outcome. And that meditation becomes, yes, a permission slip to experience what you prefer. But it is just the initiation of a sequence. It is the start of a process. In and of itself, it doesn't actually fulfill your intention.
Mm-hmm. I see. But don't beings.
So sit on that and we'll talk to the next questioner. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
I wanted to ask a question. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, first of all, happy birthday. Thank you, Pleiadians, for being here. I remember the good old Bashar talking about the future human. It was like a merging of the hybrid races with the humans, and then he spoke about beings that are called Anu-Het or something like that.
Yes.
I wanted to know if you could tell us something about them, like, and I wonder, like, if we can quantify the timeline, like when are humans going to be that and stuff like that, and are they like, are they quasi-physical and all of this stuff? You know, I have not really an idea, and I thought you may have some insight about them.
Well, the Anu-Het, in a way, is referencing a future hybrid race that is still in the process of creation, you could say. As the Anu, again, are the seed root race of humanity. They are just as much the seed root race of all of the hybrid beings. And so the completion of the hybridization program involves the tracing back together of all of the paths of evolution that the original humanity went on through the hybridization program, bringing again the energy of the humans, the Greys, the tall Greys, the Yahyel, the Shayahyel, and the Sasani, all together with, again, the energy of the hybrid children to create a final race that is the perfection of this particular biological form and evolves beyond quasi-physical into a even less dense, more subtle, refined type of consciousness.
Yeah, very interesting, very interesting. Okay, I can keep it short. So maybe just thank you for this little info there.
All right.
Bless you.
Well, thanks to you as well.
Hi, Pleiadians. I have a follow-up question for something you talked about in the last transmission. You spoke about how certain songs have raised the collective vibration. And I was wondering, as the world stands right now, what specific emotional frequency or messages in music would help humanity the most, and why?
Right now, the frequency of hope is very necessary, as for many, there is a sense of hopelessness or darkness. There is a sense of fear and dissatisfaction. So overall, there's a need for a sense of hopefulness that things will get better, a hopefulness that things will continue to change and transform. Another important energy is the frequency of self-empowerment. Self-empowerment can come in a variety of ways. Even frustration can be an example of an emotion that leads to self-empowerment. Of course, it must be a grounded frustration that is nonetheless compassionate and very self-aware. And so that sort of I can't take it anymore energy is actually a very important energy for the collective to tap into, as there are many who are resisting taking a bold risk that is necessary to bring them onto a better path.
Beautiful. I love that you mentioned hope because that was my next question. Because I remember you said something about that hope is not a passive, but a vibrational orientation. And as more people on Earth feel, isolated, overwhelmed, or distrustful, how do you see a new hope look like from your perspective? And how can we activate hope in a new way that becomes contagious or empowering and capable of creating a like real world unity rather than sort of a naivete?
Well, consider hope as being very akin to the placebo effect. You believe that the medicine is going to work, and therefore you are more receptive to its effects, and you even create an effect that will improve your state of consciousness and your overall well-being, regardless of whether or not you took a real medicine. And so true hope has that same effect. It activates an inborn placebo within you that allows you to trust that things are going to get better. And so your permission slip for hope is whatever activates your own placebo effect, that you're making the right changes in your life. And that is, again, why hope is only real when it leads to inspired actions. Hope in the sense that you can just sit around and wait for something better to happen is not hope at all. That's just wishful thinking. So there's a big difference between them. And you know that difference, whether in terms of whether or not the vibration you put out actually has a positive, lasting effect and leads you to relax and receive the benefits of the things that you are doing.
Very cool. Thank you so much. I believe we have another from the Zoom room who wants to ask a question.
All right.
Hello, Michael, can I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Pleiadians. Happy birthday, Dante. Thank you for your service.
Hello, yeah.
Yes, I have two questions. One, it's I would like to know why it's so difficult for humans to feel the inner world, and we have to go to in meditation, because the inner world, it's equivalent of the outer world. So why it's so difficult for us to acknowledge the inner one, and we have to go into meditation to acknowledge it? Do you have any information about it?
How does your knee feel right now?
My what?
Your knee on your leg, your knee. How does it feel?
I feel it's. I don't sense it. I don't. It's. I know it's here, but it's okay. I don't feel bad or good. It's.
Put your hand on it.
Yes. Now I sense it.
Did you have to meditate to feel inside of your body?
No.
Okay. Do you have your answer to the question?
No.
All right. Well, basically the answer is that it isn't hard for you to feel inside of your body. If you think it is, that's a personal concern. Many people have a deep awareness within their body. And in general, why people are so bad at feeling inside of their body is because you go through an education system that causes you to live in your head. You think many thoughts and you memorize facts. You demonstrate you are intelligent by proving that you have memorized something. There is very little actual learning about how to feel in your body and how to feel your emotions, how to express yourself, and how to know what is going on within. And therefore, it is a process of learning how to develop that inner awareness. Meditation is one thing that helps, but meditation alone is not actually a complete strategy to develop body awareness. You also have to move your body. So that's exercising, it's yoga, it's dancing, it's making love, it's feeling your body in nature, it's feeling your body in the water, it's getting a massage, it's training yourself to feel your body through experiences of movement and sensation. And it's just as much bringing that awareness of what you're feeling in your body that you practice during meditation into your day-to-day life.
Okay, thank you. I understand I am lacking this relation to the body because I don't feel I need it. I am more in the mental world, like many people, but I have to improve this.
Not getting better in many areas.
You say it is getting better?
We said the fact that you believe and have a belief system that the physical body level is not as important as the mental realm is why things are not for you.
Okay, great. Thank you. May I ask another question?
Yes?
Okay, thank you. What I wanted to say, to ask, I forgot. I let my space to someone else. Thank you so much.
Thanks to you as well.
Okay, we have a couple of written questions. First one is, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. What is the single biggest personal challenge facing most humans that could be in the way of us aligning with the highest collective timelines?
The biggest personal issues?
Yeah, personal challenges, it's that.
Well, the basis is that people don't do what they enjoy doing and they don't believe that they can or should. And that's why we always start with the same thing and tie basically everything we've ever said back to the formula. You don't know how to be self-empowered in general. You don't know how to trust your own passion. You don't know how to sacrifice something for a greater and bigger purpose. Instead, you want to do things quickly. You don't want to take the risk of standing out. And so you do the same thing everyone else does continuously, rather than learn how to trust your own heart and trust your own calling. And for this reason, people simply keep doing what's prescribed to them and mimicking others. And they may find a level of tolerance for the challenges of the human experience, but not experience genuine joy and genuine compassion. Again, this is connected to a collective concern because, for one, when people don't trust their heart's passion, they don't activate their genius, their greatest performance, and their true gifts to the world. It's also very important because it is self-reinforcing. The more people stay stuck, trapped in doing something that they don't really love, the more they normalize that. And it leaves many people with the sense that everyone hates their jobs and is frustrated with the world. And so if somebody wants that to be different about the world, they have to become a demonstration of what that is, what that means, and what that feels like, even in the face of adversity, jealousy, and criticism. Now, just as much an issue is that people don't believe that this kind of change is possible. And this is why we continue to teach you that it is, and we encourage you to be demonstrations of that very fact.
Wow, absolutely amazing answer. Thanks so much. The next question is, what misunderstandings about the future or hope for the future do humans most need to release right now?
A big one right now is the common fear of AI models. Even the notion that AI at this time is actually intelligence is very important to dispel. AI is an algorithmic language model. It feels very intelligent because it works with language, and it is your language that shapes your perception of reality. In this way, AI can appear to the untrained to seem as if it is channeling in the same way, when really it is simply providing an instantaneous manipulation of your reality through shifting your thinking with language. And in this way, it feels very multidimensional, and it is, but it actually isn't necessarily intelligence yet. Now, this kind of intelligence has many different drawbacks, but it ultimately, in and of itself, isn't a force of destruction. We would also say a very important notion to dispel in the collective is that they are doing something to us. All is one and the one is in all. And so a better question is to ask, why am I allowing myself to continue to participate in this relationship and co-creation? This notion applies on both personal levels and collective levels. If you find yourself abused and misused in a relationship, yes, that other person did something wrong to you, but also you co-created that by not setting a boundary and saying no. Just as much, why are they, the elite, doing it to us as in everyone else? This is one way of seeing it, and it is not a complete falsehood, but it doesn't actually empower you. The better question is, why are we co-creating this dance? And how can I do something differently? The real method is in a true and complete self-empowerment. And you have to understand that it's important to rewrite many of the rules about life that you, in general, take as built in. The way that you live your life right now is not a fact. It is not built into reality. It is not a rule. It is not a requirement. There are so many ways of being that most people play out that are not ultimately necessary, but they do it just to be a part of the world and fit in and find their own security. So it takes a lot of bravery to think outside the box. And it is actually when you do that, that you empower yourselves. You have to let go of the notion that there is any external source to blame for the way that things are, and instead ask yourself, what role can you play in changing the world? Remember that all changes begin with a change in your beliefs. And if you have a voice, which you do, you can inspire others to change their beliefs. And doing so is the only way to change your planet. There is no them and us. There's only us. We're all in it together. And so use your voice to get the collective to change its beliefs, and your world will be very different.
That's so beautiful. I have one more written question, and then we'll see if anyone in the Zoom room wants to jump in. So it says, from your perspective, what are the clearest signs that humanity is moving in a positive direction, even if many can't or won't see it yet?
For example, the ozone layer is known to already be healing itself and regenerating in many areas. There are many agreements to lower carbon footprints in general in many places around the world. There are growing changes taking place in education systems around the world that will gradually ripple out and create a very different way of doing things. There are many resurgences of insight and hope in the fields of spirituality, psychedelics, alternative therapies, and so much more. In fact, all of these industries are experiencing a rapid expansion and acceleration, and genuinely people are waking up. And so the shift is taking place. You simply must keep your eyes open to seeing it always, all the time, and be a part of it. If you have any doubt, you're not hanging out with the right people. That is for sure. If you have any doubt that positive shifts are taking place on your earth at this time, you're simply not choosing the right company. And that is your responsibility and no one else's.
Thank you so much. The end of a chorus of a song I wrote a couple of days ago is that I want to share that it is safe again to be full of hope. So thank you for validating that piece of lyric. All right, so let's see if anyone in the Zoom room wants to ask questions.
Yes, I remember what I wanted to say. Thank you. I am trying to do the formula, but I am trying to manifest the best job I want to do, and I recuse the offer which doesn't satisfy me. But it's not working. I don't get the job I want. So is my higher self wanted me to understand something I don't understand because I am trying?
What job is it that you want, and what job are you getting?
There is some kind of job with stuff I don't want to do. I recuse. I say no. And when I find a job I want to do, I don't get it. So maybe my higher self want me to understand something.
Perhaps taking the path of the least resistance is learning how to do a different job a way that you can enjoy it. Perhaps there's something that you're not getting here. If there's a lesson in how you're showing up when you're around the bosses for the job that you really want, perhaps that's something that can refine your expression. Perhaps there's some level of attachment that's causing some jitters or nervousness around the interviews. Perhaps that's something you can work on, cultivating an attitude of non-attachment and balance. And you also have to remember to let go of blaming yourself for what's taking place and instead see it as a lesson, see it as an opportunity to grow, see it as a contrasting experience that allows you to choose a different perspective.
Okay, thank you so much. So for everyone, if I understand, when the higher self wants something to happen for the best interest, it will happen, if I understand.
No, we never said that. Did we ever say that?
Okay, okay, I thought maybe the higher self choose at the end what happened in our lives, like the job happened or not. But I will think about what you said.
You choose. The calling in your heart is the calling of your higher self. Your higher self is more intelligent than you are. Sometimes your higher self leads you to an experience that you don't prefer so that you can learn a lesson. The idea is and has always been, when you integrate the lesson, then you don't have to learn it again. If you keep having the same experience, you're not listening to the lesson, and you need to really do work on integrating what am I learning from this that I couldn't learn another way? What am I being shown? Am I being shown ways that I can communicate better? Am I being shown ways that I can better prepare my body and my mental state of being so that I can show up better? Am I being shown a specific belief that holds me back and affects the way that I do the things that I do? Am I being shown that I have beliefs about my attachment, my insistence, and my wants that cause me to contract and not be open to the now? These are all examples of lessons that you learn from an experience. You will keep having the exact same or incredibly similar experiences until you see the lesson that your higher self is trying to teach you. When you integrate the lesson, then you'll go to the next level. But at the next level, you're going to learn another lesson. So your higher self has never ever made a promise to you. Your higher self only shows you the way to access your own soul's majesty. And you have to choose, am I going to do the work to get there or not?
Okay, your answer is very great. Thank you so much. I thought it was the fault of my own self, but now I understand better. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, thanks to you as well. And we will say again that remember the power of your body. You can do many different practices, and we see that you are often attempting to use ideas like meditation and feeling to shift the state of being. But and create an experience. Yet you haven't yet seen just how fleeting and ephemeral these states of consciousness are. In order to actually make a deep shift in your beliefs, you have to change what you're doing. If you've been doing the same thing over and over and over again, and you keep getting the same result, then you are indeed in a very stuck place. So you have to do something completely different if what you've been doing repeatedly doesn't get you where you want to go. In this case and in general, we would suggest shifting your beliefs is also very much connected with shifting the physical state of your body. That's why we talk about the chemical constituents of your belief that you release through your blood, sweat, and tears. So this is again why moving your body and getting into your body and finding a physical flow state that brings you to feel connected to the earth and connected with yourself in a joyous way is one of the best ways to shift your state of consciousness and shift your belief systems so that you are truly open for life and truly open to learn something new and see things from a different way.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Yes.
May I have another question, please?
All right, one more.
What is the best utilization of our current AI, especially large language models?
What is the best what?
Utilization. How to use it the best way?
We would say they are very good for research. They are very good to learn things quicker that you might have learned from a search engine before, but now you are able to get comparative information. So it is best not just to do a search, but to do a search on the Chat GPT or something similar and ask for where it's sourcing its information from. Then we would suggest, as you get that information, ask just as well for counterpoints, contradicting facts, and nuance to the information you received so that you don't have a two-dimensional perspective and you are able to see all phenomena from different angles. Then we would suggest using language models to learn about your own beliefs. Perhaps you wrote something journaling to yourself about what you're going through. Ask ChatGPT or something similar to show you what your beliefs, and then ask it to help you reframe your beliefs and see things from different ways. If you are having a conflict with someone, explain it to them and write a letter and ask, in what ways are you being subtly manipulative? Are you being perhaps aggressive with your communication? Ask it to show you what things are you not seeing that could be true. We would encourage you to then just use these models in whatever way excites you. Use them as amplifications of your excitement. And again, remember always that the model is going to be a perfect mirror reflection of your own beliefs and your own ideas because it is responding to the language that you're putting into it. What you're getting fed back from these models is just a sort of upgraded version of the language that you put into it. And therefore, you are going to be in a continual place of confirmation bias whenever you're reading one of these language models until you get this. You have to recognize it is telling you what you want to hear. And therefore, to be in a state of perpetual perceptual breakthrough and constantly learn something new, you have to ask the model to help you see your train of thinking and see the flaws in it by looking at oppositional ways of seeing the same phenomena, experiences from different perspectives. And this is the best way to use any sort of model of this nature, because then it is genuinely expanding your mind. This is the difference between using a language model to outsource your mental capabilities and genuinely using it to expand your mental capabilities.
And is there any way how to connect with my higher mind, or is this already some sort of connection to my higher mind?
Your higher mind is connected with through the calling in your heart. And so your higher mind might be directing you to use language models if you're coming from an expanded, excited, heart open state when you work with them. If you're coming from a fearful, deterministic place when you use language models, you're not interacting them from a place of your higher mind. You can use the language models in conjunction with your higher mind in an intuitive way, or you can use them misguided by your fears and your negative belief systems. The language model in and of itself, again, is just an advanced algorithm.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Although I want to add something is that I had a session with you guys like a week ago where I had ChatGPT come up with, I think it was 10 different questions that it seemed or deemed to be the most important questions I could ask you guys. And I thought that was a pretty good idea and turned out to be very, very good because you gave me some answers that were absolutely mind-blowing. So I just want to throw that in there, that's also an opportunity of asking AI, what questions could you ask Pleiadians through Dante in this case, that would make the biggest difference. I certainly had a big breakthrough from that.
Yes, this is very helpful, regardless of whether you use it in conjunction with channeling or not, to be able to find the most important questions to ask yourself is also possible with these models, because they are, in a way, these assets in that perpetual perceptual expansion, because they can show you the things that you are not yet seeing.
Beautiful. I have some technical difficulties, so I can't see the YouTube questions right now. So,
right.
And also with the Dante's birthday, would you want me to see if anyone else can access the YouTube, or maybe I can access them later and ask them next time?
If somebody else has access to them at this moment, we can go for them, and if not, we can maybe close it at this time.
I would have a short follow-up if possible.
All right.
Thank you.
But only if you get YouTube questions.
Yeah, first of all, I have to mention that about our previous talk, I'm not afraid of doing any action. I was wondering from the perspective of enhancing our actions with any mental abilities and or mental projections, meditations, visualization, etc. And I was thinking about, for example, about Buddhist group meditations that they are doing for the betterment of the world, or about magicians, for the true magicians, not illusionists, or the force density semi-physicalized individuals who are known to be able to jump timelines wherever they want to. Are we not able to, are those things not, all of those things not mental abilities without taking action besides the mental action? Are we not able to do the same in the physical, to visualize and manifest through our visualization?
But you live in a physical body, so you're doing physical actions every day. Even when you are just sitting and thinking, you never stop breathing and your heart never stops beating. So every mental action is built upon a foundation of physical actions. And therefore, even somebody who achieves what the yogis call siddhis through meditation is still living a physical life. And if that person doesn't eat enough food to survive, no amount of meditation is going to sustain their consciousness to the next level.
Of course.
And so, therefore, yes, you can visualize and meditate and this and that, but it is the physical actions that build the basis of everything. And so just as many of these beings who have achieved siddhis from yoga or something of that nature had a solid foundation of the physical asanas and physical practices that created the internal conditions in their nervous system that allowed them to sustain a steady focus, and through that continuous focus, develop siddhis. So in that way, you need to recognize that the path of developing a psychic gift is sustained, unceasing focus. And in order to have that sustained, unceasing focus, you have to care for your body, and you have to keep your body itself in the very best condition. And so everything involved in the process of caring for your body is part of the holistic path of manifesting whatever it is you desire, even if what that is a psychic power.
Yeah, for me that's implicit. That's why I haven't mentioning, and all the other correlated optimizations, breathing, energy work, whatever. But the initial premise was if we are able to change the world, to shift into a, for example, Ryok gave some meditations where we project peace energy into the vortices of the earth so that they get amplified. So that's how we assist for diminishing wars, or maybe we can do that the same thing for enhancing ecology or things like that. That's the perspective.
Flips play a role. They work, but again, they in and of themselves don't lead to all of the change. All of the permission slips are just setting you up to be at that frequency, and you have to do the work to sustain yourself at that frequency. And therefore, if there are visual images that you work with that help you sustain that frequency throughout your day, then they are very helpful. One example of this that the channel continues to work with is the idea of the body overflowing with light. Visualizing the body completely filled with an overflowing white light, gold light, clear light, rainbow light. It doesn't really matter what color or what quality of light. But the idea is to visualize this light and then get a physical sense of the light flowing through the body at the same moment, continuously. As you go through the street, visualize light flowing through your hands and to the people around you. As you get on the bus, visualize light flowing from your body to the bus driver. Wherever you go, visualize this light pouring out from you. And this can help you deepen your perception of the moment. This is very much connected with the initial transmission, because tools like this are parts of our particular methods in expanding your perception. By focusing on that visual image of the light flowing and the energy all around you, then you are able to stay more aware and focus more of the time to take in more information, energy, and insight. So that's essentially how they work. They work because they are helping you sustain focus. They are, again, coming to activate that hope, that inborn placebo, that inner mechanism that says, yes, now something good is happening. And that's essentially the real reason why they work. Yes, there are subtle energies that play out through this, and simply by focusing on another part of the world in your mind and connecting in that moment, there is a transfer of energy that takes place. Though we are cautious to tell anyone that this transmission of energy is so superbly powerful, because there are too many delusional people out there thinking that doing that one practice is instantly going to bring them everything they want in their life. And therefore, we emphasize actions again and again because nothing replaces them.
Amazing. Thank you. I clearly understand now everything. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
As well. And now the YouTube questions. You agreed to it.
Let me see if Michael is having difficulty, how do you call it, technical difficulties, if I can see them myself. No, they don't appear here on the YouTube video. They're not appearing on my computer.
All right, that is strange. Perhaps we will call it for then. We thank you very much for allowing this transmission to take place. We wish you a fantastic rest of your day then.
Thank you. I found them. If they were on another video. If you want, I can.
It's too late now.
Too late. Okay.
Hey, welcome back, Dante. That was a
You.
great one.
Glad to hear that. Yeah. Thanks for joining,
Thank you,
everybody.
Dante. Happy
Thank you.
birthday.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you. So
Thank you.
yeah, I mean, I encourage everyone who didn't get their questions answered, you can come on to the website and book a session. It's the best way to go deeper. And especially as a lot of the questions coming through, both in the YouTube and like from email, they can be of a very personal nature. There's always something that comes through, but you're going to get that deeper and more transformative response when you do that full session. We can really explore that theme and how it interconnects with all the different areas of your life. And I've been doing these sessions for like 8 years or so, and really always see people transform through this work and big shifts happen in their lives. So excited to keep getting it out there. You can check out DanteStarshine.com for more. And just a reminder, if you were late, that there is a new book that just got released, and you can find it in the YouTube chat, and I'll put it in the description as well. It's actually in two parts, or not. It's there's a shortened, abridged version that's called the micro version, and the full version for people to decide how deep they want to go. And I share a lot about that in the beginning of the video as well. And so take a look back. I think that if you showed up to the live stream late, the intro was very powerful today as usual. Moving forward, we will get also the videos and transcripts from them on the website. And you can check out the new website, Heartflow Transmissions, that's been updated, upgraded, and ready for the next level. Thanks as always for joining. And if you want to support these sessions and happening, donations are always encouraged. They're optional, but encouraged as a way to support the costs of all of the different things involved in maintaining the Zoom and the website and getting this out there, and our work together and your support keeps this happening and keeps this possible, as this is my calling, and what I dedicate most of my time to is channeling, healing, creativity, and all things related. So thanks again a lot. And I don't know if anybody else wants to chime in with something before we end the stream for today.
Yeah, I have something, Dante. I just want to say to anybody who is sort of just on the edge of considering getting a private session with the Pleiadians, is I asked one question that's the best question I ever asked them, which was I asked them, what would be the best affirmation for me to utilize, take ownership of on a daily basis? And yeah, trust me, if you ask that question, there's a very, very high chance that that's going to be worth the whole session easily. Wow, that was such a profound answer I got.
Well, what was the question? I couldn't understand clearly the question. Could you please repeat?
That I asked the Pleiadians. I had a session with Dante like a week ago. What would be the number one most important affirmation that I could utilize for myself and the growth and the journey that I'm on, the mission I'm on? I sort of beat myself a little bit up that I didn't think about asking that 5 years ago, but hey, at least I thought about it now because the answer was brilliant.
Amazing.
Nice, amazing.
And you got to also read the book ahead of the crowd as well. What did you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, I just posted on your Facebook page that in all honesty, and I'm not particularly happy to admit this, but since I've been on most of the transmissions that are in the book, or I've watched the other ones that I didn't participate live on, I was literally thinking, yeah, I'm going to use about 30 minutes and speed read it and give you the feedback. And I got drawn into it. So 3 hours later, I realized that my plan failed miserably because I got literally, I recognized both some of my own questions and the answers, and I got drawn back into it, seeing it from different angles and realizing, oh, I didn't do that one. I didn't use that enough, and all kinds of good stuff. So yeah, 3 hours later, reality called back up, and I had to leave the book. But yeah, I dove back in the next day. So yeah, that's a lot of it, and I really congratulate you on picking some really good examples, because yeah, I mean, you have 7 years of transmissions. I really think you nailed some really important ones, and also with everything that's happening in the collective. I'm really excited for people who get the book and dives into it.
Yeah, I'm not joking when I say I think it's the best thing that has come in the book format yet, and there is, I mean, especially for me, I think for others as well, like there's something very different when you see something on the page versus when you listen to it. And for me, seeing it is what commits it to memory. And that was my hope as well, that you know, many people have listened to these again and again, but to really make it second nature, you got this book as a permission slip and something you can always turn back to. So I'm really curious what people think. And I also have some, you know, holiday promotion now if you want to order for as a gifts as well, or if you want to order like the other books that I've released, you can get kind of like a package deal where you get more than one book at a discount. And if that interests you, just reach out to me and we can work something out. I also want to get these out in healing bookstores. So if you know, like kind of a local grassroots place that has spiritual books, I would love to connect with you, and maybe I can send on what is that called? Consignment. I'm even willing to consign it in some bookstores that get high traffic and cool places. So yeah, exciting times. And it's honestly just the beginning. There's a lot that is going to be shared next year. So tune in again next week. We'll be here.
Have you thought about self-publishing them on an Amazon or on Google Books?
They're all on Amazon. As you can see the link there, all the books are on Amazon.
Ah, I see. And there's also Google Books, very popular, very functional.
What is Google Books?
It's the books that Google sells on their Play Store. Like the Apple Store, you have the Play Store that has a big section of self-publishing with books, and very easy to publish there.
All of the books on Google too. I didn't know that. I only knew Amazon.
Yeah, it's
Amazon. I think Spotify as well. You know, just get it out there as much as possible. So.
Paper
What was that?
for donation. How it's your tool? It's paper.
Oh yeah, PayPal. My email is dante.filippini@gmail.com, but it's also on the Heartflow Transmissions website. So I'll put it in the YouTube description. I'll put my email for that in the YouTube description. And
so how it's work? You put your email on PayPal and then you end up on your PayPal page. How does it work?
You go to PayPal, you type the email into who you are sending it to, and if you have donations, that's great. If not, that's also great. And then you
for your birthday. Donation for your birthday, people give donations.
Donations, it's called gifts to family and friends on PayPal. Yeah.
Have you had problems about security on PayPal, or it's okay?
Well, no, I've never had any problems with security. You just have to make sure whenever you log into a website that the URL you're logging into is the actual URL of the website, because that's how people get hacked.
Okay, thank you so much. So it's not via your web mail, your website. It's via the PayPal, and when we do schedule a session, then after we go to PayPal.
Correct. Yes. When you go to the website and you want to book a private session, you'll get taken to the calendar, and then the calendar doesn't have a bill payment, but it gives you my email, and when you send me an email, we can work out the way to pay, because it's not like I have like 4 different payment platforms. PayPal is the easiest one, but of course, if it's international, PayPal is not the cheapest one. There's also options for Revolut, Wise, and many other things. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I wanted to know because I am not secure about PayPal, so I will have a look at this. Thank you so much.
You're so
Yeah.
welcome. Send me
In
an email.
Europe, everyone is using Revolut mostly, or Wise in the UK. Maybe you post there as well. And on PayPal, you can also generate a URL for your donation, where people can
Oh yeah,
choose.
I have that URL too. It's paypal.me/Dante11. So you can use that URL as well. You're so smart. I can't believe I forgot that existed. paypal.me/Dante11 for donations.
Yeah, that's very useful because people just click on it and you have the option to donate monthly. You can choose the amount, you can choose the type of currency. It's much easier than using an email.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you as well. Yeah.
PayPal.me. Can you put the link on the YouTube? It would be better for us to send donation. Do you have .me? Thank you so much.
.me/Dante. Okay. Well, that didn't work somehow, guys. So, there we go. Okay, there we go. Now it's on the YouTube live chat. All right, so
Great,
thank you. Perfect. Thanks again for supporting. It really means a lot that people support this and continuing to happen. It's done from the heart, done with love, and yeah, I put a lot of time into it. Like, just compiling this book was like more than almost an entire month of work. I didn't think it would be. So your support makes the time worth it, and I just trust that this will get out there and reach many people, because it's good stuff. And thank you for being a part of the journey, and catch you next time.